Warm
Yes, we
greeting
are
to
live.
all the panelists. Here our team, Data AI, is here to present our idea 32, that is Crime Dekho. Crime modeling to interpret and generate behavioral analysis of crimes. So here are the group members' name: Rishikesh Yadav, the team leader for Data AI, Shruti Mishra, myself, and Prateek Shetty. So I would like to start with the presentation. As crime rates keep spreading each day, the law enforcement agencies face many challenges. They have to keep an regular eye and looking for the signs of criminal activities in the particular location. This may not only increase the burden on their resources but also make it less effective to predict the increase or decrease in the trends of the crime. The approximate number of murder, rapes, thefts, or any such crimes that may occur in particular area in a particular month, year, or any period of time, or an overall number of crimes appearing in a country in specific year, in future, or in past, other prediction or projection of future crime statistics. Thus, in such an era where there is such a widespread use of technology for many purposes, this project is done in order to show how policing officials could cross any technology barriers by analyzing the huge amount of crime related data that is generated in order to make inference about the crime that might be going on or happening in a certain area or certain period of time in future by detecting crime patterns. So I would like to explain the vision of the project. Crime Dekho is to detect the crime patterns in the different location and help the law agencies to reduce the burden on their human resources and use technology for the crossover. The proposed system will help the police department to use the limited human resources in an effective way and to reduce the crime in a better way. Here is the name of our industry expert, Mr. Sudhir Dekane, Assistant Professor of Thakur College. Review of our literature. There already exists two systems based on KNN algorithm and multi-classification models like gradient boosting and random forest regressor. These both models need to be made better. This project makes the required changes in the existing system and gets the better results for the same. Usefulness of the idea. This project will not only help in detecting the pattern of the crime in the location but will also help in knowing the crime rates that would help in future to decrease the number of crimes in that area. The hard copy of FIR and data investigation things would get to the software part that will help in future to calculate the number and also help in proposing new system for the same and adding new feature to the website Crime Gecko. Social impact of the idea. Crime Gecko vision is to reduce the crime rates and make the world happier. This application will not only help the police department but also help the citizens of the area or the country to have a healthier and happier life and a safer life because of the analysis done on the database of the police station that will help in planning the deployment of human resources of police department in particular location in particular days or in festivals to reduce the number of the patterns of the crime. So I would like to call Rishikesh to explain the next slide.
Yeah. So thank you, Shruti. So the objective defined for the implementation of IDEA. So the aim is to build a portal like which will be easy for police tasking, and also the planning procedure would be one more step easier. So the second thing is to have a portal which supports a central database of a system where like FIR data are stored in a central database, and that data can be used for the analysis purpose, for the predictive purpose, and lot of other stuffs, so that we can have a better decision making, and also a better action could be taken for the prevention of the crime rates. So to and the third feature is like objective is to find the actionable insights from the FIR data and investigation data, and also like uh, we would be exploring the crimes with the help of crime mapping, and also the cluster would help us to know the zones in a very better manner. And the fourth and the last is our objective is to build a model which will be helpful to plan patrolling in a more efficient manner, like which area would be in a high risk in the future of uh, like crime happening in that area, and what action should be taken according to that. So this is like all the objective points that we have listed, and here the resources needed. So we would be needing only the VS code, then Google Colab for the analysis purpose, and the FIR dataset to work on. So here is the timeline that you can see. So the ideation phase starts from August, and then design phase in the mid of an August and September. Then website building starts from mid of a September and mid of an October, and the feature integration like mid of an November. And we have planned to complete the prototype release like till the end of December. So like still we are working on that, and the cost of implementation is nil. And then the methodology part. So as we have discussed till now, we have like four features. So let's get to the prototype then. Yep. So here you can see the crime Dekho portal, and you can see the stats of the database about the number of crimes and arrests recorded and all. And you can see here are the basic three features of our the crime mapping, crime analysis, and crime reporting. So first of all, the add crime feature, as we know that in various police stations, the crime is used to the FIR or investigation is used to be recorded in an offline mode. So it is not being stored in a database or a cloud. And if there is a central database which have all the records of all the crimes happening in like all over the state or the country, then it would be very beneficial as per the part of a crime analysis part and also for the prediction of a crime, so that we would be knowing what's happening, and also it's better to understand what's going on. So here is like the portal where we can register like having a basic details about the crime, and also we can print the record that we have just give, so that it will be also easy for the documentation stuff. Then we can also register the police station here. uh, as you have seen, like we have registered around 35 police station like by adding here the police station. And uh, like it helps to connect people from like to have the police data there. Then we have our like the main feature here, which is the crime mapping. So crime mapping helps us to explore the various zones or the various uh, various zones or the various places, and to know understand which type of crime is more at which area. So here I have selected like criminal damage and criminal trespass and street, and I had hit to the get result button. And now the hotspots would be generated, and by the identification of the clusters I would be getting to know, okay, which area is more prone to which type of crime, and the better action could be taken at that place. So here, what I can observe is the red spots are more and the blue is very less. So red spot we can observe is the criminal damage, and I got to know, okay, it's vehicle. Here I got to see that a lot of cluster is being made, and every cluster is just behaving in a similar manner. So we need to have a patrolling specific to that area and like specific to the criminal damage and vehicle. And here we can see some of the blue spots, which is like criminal trespass, and that too was of a vehicle. So that helps police stations to understand in a very better manner, and there are like different types of crimes that we can select a multiple, and we can identify and explore the regions. And here we can see the tabular regions, the tabular data. And here is a behavioral analysis where we used to find out the insights, pattern, or the trends going on into the data, and it helps to summarize it in a very better manner way to understand it in a statistical format. So here we can see the most type of crime recorded. So we get to know that theft is more than the location with the most number of crimes are recorded. So we get to know that street and apartment residence is very less. Then the type of crime in which most number of arrest is done. As we saw, that theft is more, but the battery type of a crime, like arrest is because of the physical fights and all. Then on which of day of week the more crime is recorded, so we get to know, okay, it's like higher on Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday. So it's higher on the weekend during weekend, and it reduces as the weekdays comes. Then we have in which month the most number of crimes is recorded. So we get to know like in the July month, it's more, and December. So we will be adding these predefined questions here. But the thing is, we need to go beyond that. And for that, we have introduced dynamic analytics here. So what does dynamic analytics does? There are some responsible department into the police station, like what they can do, they can just write a title, okay, in the admin section, and just add on to the attributes, and according to the attributes the question would be shown here, and the visualization would be present. So here we can add, for an example, we can see here the crime data as 2 is equal to 3, so it's a sample for now. So that was dynamic analytics. And here we have predictive patrolling. So still we are working on this feature of predictive patrolling. So what it does specifically, like what's what's the plan of ours is to have a system which will first take like what type of duration of a time you need to analyze, okay, analyze, or want to give it to the model to understand or to make prediction out from it. So if we give like a 7 days of a time period, then it will make sure to learn from that, and after that it will give the spots, it will generate the spots according to the risk tonality about like whether it's high risk or the low risk of a crime, and according to that the decision can be made by the police station related to how to use the resources specifically, or how to do the patrolling, or whether like having a high risk tonality makes the higher probability of happening that, and also to focus more on that zones. So that was all about our methodology. So I will move to the PPT stuff. So as we discussed here about what is ad crime and what it does actually, and the crime analysis, like we have explored about the predefined questions and also the dynamic analytics. Then we have crime mapping. So here the user, as we saw, we had the slicer and filtration part. So user can interact with that and explore the regions about the different types of crimes and zones. And then the last, which is the predictive patrolling, which is the crime modeling stuff. So here we have taken into consideration an LSTM model because it works very perfect with the timestamp data, and we have the FIR data as a timestamp data. Okay, so the block diagram which you can see here is, first we take the database, then we convert it into data frame, then cleaning and processing the data, and after that exploratory data analysis. And I have shown the all the three features how it works. And then the flowchart of crime modeling which we can observe here is take the processing data, and then it splits into training and testing data, and then the LSTM model is being used here. Okay. So the test data which we have used here is Uttarakhand dataset, and I would like to uh, give this for the further
Hello.
explanation done by Pratik Shetty.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Can you go to the previous slide? So yeah, so talking about Uttarakhand data set, our biggest challenge was how to accumulate this data, because you see, for any analysis model we require a ample of data. But since we did not have data, first we built our system prototype on the Chicago data, then we later migrated to the Uttarakhand data set. For that we have manually created it using web scraping through government websites of Uttarakhand. So that is how we got the Uttarakhand data for, I say, 12 to 13 districts. And then the result, as you can see, the first one is add crime, where you have a modal where you can enter your crime details, and then you can have a digital print copy of that, as in digital FIR stuff. Then you can see in crime mapping there is hotspot generation. You can see red color, yellow color, different types of hotspots, so you can identify where the more prevalent crime is in which region. So it is helpful in that pattern behavior recognition. So in next slide, you can see that there are graphs. So in this graph we are seeing to the behavioral analysis of any crime. So as you can see, in the weekdays you can see Sunday has highest number of crime, because on Sunday and Saturday people leave the house, so robbers or burglars can break into it more easily, and in weekdays it is less. Similarly, according to the month, according to the region, crime type, you can see there are variation. So this is what behavior analysis is. And coming to the next slide, our conclusion. So what we learned from this project and what our future implementation are. Crime Dekho enables potential of police department to reduce crime rate by identifying various features such as patterns through hotspot generation and through our add crime features. It is very helpful for the police department, and we will try to expand more on ground perspective of police department by maybe collaborating with them in future, and also working on our predictive policing as Rishikesh told, to make our society crime free. So these are some references we took. So it helped us to understand the analogy of crime detection, crime analysis, and what can be done in this sector digitally. So yeah, thank you everyone from
Thank you,
my
everyone.
team. Thank you.